What if I told you that every single night your male cat climbs into bed with you, he is delivering 6 specific messages, and the chances are almost certain that you have never decoded one of them. And I don't mean that in a vague, poetic, he loves you way. I mean it in a precise, behavioral, neurochemical way that researchers have spent years documenting, and that the average American cat owner will never encounter because it never makes it onto the bag of food or into the 5-minute annual wellness visit. You love your cat. You know your cat. You have taken more photos of him sleeping than you have of most major life events, and you regret nothing. But what is actually happening when he bypasses the couch, the armchair, the perfectly good cat bed you bought that he looked at once and rejected, and chooses your bed, your side, your body, night after night, goes so far beyond habit or warmth-seeking that once you understand it, you will never watch him settle in beside you the same way again. Here is what I need from you right now, before we go any further. I need you to stay through all 6 of these. Because number 4, the one about what his sleeping position is specifically communicating, will make you replay every night you've shared with him through a completely different lens. And number 6, the one about chemistry and what your shared sleep is doing to both of your brains, is the one that people pause this video after and just sit with for a minute before they can continue. If you have a male cat, if he sleeps near you, on you, or anywhere in the same room as you at night, this video is about him, specifically. Stay with me. This is cat class. Let's go. The first thing you need to understand, and this reframes everything that comes after it, is that your male cat does not experience your home the way you experience your home. He does not see rooms and furniture and square footage. He experiences a layered map of psychological zones, each one carrying a different emotional weight, a different level of vulnerability, a different set of rules about who belongs there and under what conditions. Behavioral ecologists who study feline territorial psychology describe this internal map in terms of concentric rings moving from the outside in. The outermost ring is patrol space, areas your cat monitors, moves through, keeps tabs on, but does not deeply invest in emotionally. Inside that is neutral space, areas where the presence of others is tolerable, unremarkable, no threat response triggered. Moving inward is protected space, areas your cat actively defends, where unfamiliar presences generate a stress response. And at the very center, the innermost ring, is what researchers call the core sanctuary, the place where the cat is willing to be fully, completely, dangerously vulnerable, the place where he sleeps. In the wild, a sleeping cat is a dead cat if he chooses wrong. Unconsciousness is the maximum vulnerability state for any animal. Every predator that ever hunted a small felid understood this. And so the cat's nervous system, refined over millions of years, developed an extraordinarily precise set of criteria for where it is safe to lose consciousness. And more importantly, who it is safe to lose consciousness beside. When your male cat chooses to sleep with you, he is not choosing comfort. He is placing you inside his core sanctuary. He has run his assessment, whatever complex, multi-sensory, instinct-driven assessment that looks like, and concluded that you meet the criteria, that you are safe enough to be unconscious near, that whatever threat his ancestors feared in the dark, you are not it. You are the opposite of it. You are the person he trusts with his survival. Now here is the specific detail that most American cat owners miss entirely. But once you know it, You will check for it tonight. Watch where your male cat positions himself relative to your bedroom door, relative to the hallway entrance, the window, any opening that connects your sleeping space to the larger world. A significant number of male cats in co-sleeping relationships consistently position themselves between their sleeping human and the room's primary entry point. Not beside you on the open side, not at your back, between you and the door. Animal behaviorists who have documented this pattern call it guardian positioning, and it is exactly what it sounds like. In his internal model of the world, the model that runs underneath conscious thought, that operates on pure evolutionary logic, your safety has become part of his territorial responsibility. He is not just sleeping near you, he is sleeping at the post. He has assigned himself a job, and the job is you. That is not a small thing to absorb. Take a second with it. And it leads directly into the second thing happening every night. The one that sounds like something from a science documentary, but is documented in peer-reviewed research. Cats can detect a human heartbeat from a distance of up to 10 feet. Not metaphorically. Literally, through the auditory sensitivity of their inner ear and the vibratory receptors distributed across their paw pads and chest, both of which are calibrated to detect low-frequency mechanical vibration through surfaces with extraordinary precision. Your heartbeat, transmitted through the mattress, through the bedding, through whatever is between you and him, is information your cat is actively receiving. And what researchers studying feline sleep behavior discovered when they began measuring this carefully is that male cats who sleep regularly beside the same person begin, over time, to synchronize their cardiac rhythm with that person's. The cat's resting heart rate shifts toward alignment with his human's. His breathing cycle adjusts. His sleep architecture, the sequencing of his light and deep sleep phases, begins to mirror, at least partially, the rhythms of the body beside him. This phenomenon appears to occur exclusively with what the research literature calls the cat's chosen person. Not with strangers the cat tolerates, not with household members the cat is neutral toward. Only with the individual he has specifically selected as his primary bond. The body does not do this by default. It does this because something at a level below conscious choice has decided that this particular person's rhythm is the rhythm worth orienting to. The downstream effects of this synchronization are measurable and significant. Studies comparing male cats in bonded co-sleeping relationships against male cats who sleep alone found consistent differences. Lower baseline cortisol, faster recovery from acute stress events, greater behavioral confidence when encountering novel situations, and higher overall scores on standardized feline emotional well-being assessments. The bond is not just emotionally meaningful. It is physiologically protective. Sleeping beside you makes him healthier. Quantifiably, documentably healthier. There is a case that circulated in veterinary behavioral research circles that I want to share with you, because it illustrates what this cardiac sensitivity looks like when it reaches its full expression. A male cat, not a co-sleeper, had always preferred the chair in another room, never showed interest in the bed, whose owner was diagnosed with a cardiac arrhythmia. Within 2 weeks of the diagnosis, before any behavioral change in the owner that family members could consciously identify, the cat began sleeping on the owner's chest every night. Not near the chest, on it, directly over the heart. Whether he detected the arrhythmia itself through his extraordinary sensitivity to cardiac vibration, or whether he detected the subtle hormonal and behavioral shifts that accompany a new medical diagnosis in the weeks before the owner's demeanor had visibly changed, no researcher can say with certainty. What the case demonstrates is this. The cat knew something had shifted in the person he had synchronized himself to, and he responded by becoming in the most literal sense, a living source of rhythmic comfort pressed directly against the thing that had changed. That is the bond. That is what synchronization looks like when it is real. The third thing is the one that reframes every seemingly random piece of pre-bedtime cat behavior you have ever witnessed and mildly found annoying. Your male cat knows your sleep schedule better than you know your sleep schedule. Researchers who placed long-term observation cameras in private American homes as part of a feline behavioral study found something that genuinely surprised them. Male cats in the study began moving toward the bedroom and positioning themselves near the sleeping area an average of 20 to 30 minutes before their owners went to sleep. In households with completely irregular bedtimes, in households where the owners explicitly reported having no consistent routine, households where the time of sleep varied by hours from one night to the next, it did not matter. The cats knew. What they were reading was not the clock on the wall. They were reading a sequence, a specific, personal, nightly sequence of micro-behaviors that each owner performed in the hour before sleep, without any conscious awareness that they were performing them. The particular television program that always played last. The specific way the kitchen light went off before the hallway light. The quality of footsteps that shifts almost imperceptibly when a person is winding down versus moving with purpose. The refrigerator opened one final time. The breathing pattern that begins its transition towards sleep while a person is still sitting on the couch before they have consciously decided to go to bed. Male cats, whose sensory and cognitive systems were designed to detect and interpret exactly this kind of subtle sequential patterning. Because in the natural world, reading behavioral sequences correctly is the difference between a successful hunt and an empty stomach. Absorb these nightly rituals with a granularity that should honestly be humbling to us. They build a predictive model of your pre-sleep behavior that is more accurate than the model you hold of yourself. And then they use it to influence you. You may have noticed that in the hour before you typically go to bed, your male cat becomes unusually present. He circles. He walks in front of you. He positions himself in your path, bumps your legs, makes himself gently but persistently unavoidable, in a way that reads as charming and slightly bossy at the same time. Behavioral researchers have an informal term for this: pre-sleep herding. And while the term is casual, the behavior it describes is deliberate. Your cat has learned that bedtime is the window of maximum access to you. Stationary you. Horizontal you. You with the phone face down and no competing demands on your attention. You at your most present. And he is, with characteristic feline persistence, nudging you toward it. He wants you in bed. Not because he's tired. His sleep schedule is entirely independent of yours. Because bed is where you are most fully available to him. And available is what he wants. Now the fourth thing. The one I told you to stay for. And I need you to think about the specific position your cat takes on the bed as I describe each of these. Because where he sleeps is a sentence he's been saying to you every night. That is not a lesser form of affection. In male cat behavioral terms, it may be the most purposeful expression of it. For a male cat, independent by nature, territorial by design, built by evolution to need no one, to sleep in full contact with a human being is to have voluntarily, consciously, completely set all of that down. Every behavioral layer that says, I am sufficient, I do not need this, I am fine alone. He has set it down. With you, only with you. He has gone back to the neurological state of a creature who has decided that being held is enough, that the breathing of a body beside him is the whole world, and the whole world is safe. The average male cat in a co-sleeping environment wakes between 7 and 9 times during an 8-hour period. Not groggy, disoriented, half-conscious waking. Full, immediate, complete alertness. Eyes open, every sense engaged, processing the room, followed by a return to sleep so fast and so clean that the human lying beside him almost never registers it happened. Researchers call these episodes micro-surveillance cycles, and they are not glitches in his sleep pattern. They are the direct behavioral inheritance of every wild ancestor he has ever had, written into his nervous system as a non-negotiable operating protocol. Wake, assess, confirm. Sleep again. Every single time, he checks you as part of that assessment. He is not waking up because he is restless. He is not waking up because something disturbed him. He is waking up because waking up is the job he gave himself, and the job includes you. He kept watch all night, in 20-second intervals, 7 to 9 times, silent and invisible, and completely devoted to a job you never asked him to take, and never knew he had. For your male cat, the hormonal picture during co-sleeping extends well beyond oxytocin. Research examining the hormone profiles of male cats in established co-sleeping relationships found a consistent and significant pattern. Testosterone, which in unneutered and even many neutered male cats maintains an influence on territorial anxiety and vigilance behavior, decreases during and after shared sleep with the bonded person. Serotonin, the neurochemical of sustained well-being, of emotional stability, of "I am okay right now and I expect to continue to be okay," increases. Dopamine, the neurochemical of reward and motivation, and "I want to return to this," increases. The complete hormonal profile of a male cat who co-sleeps with his chosen person is measurably, chemically different from the profile of a male cat who sleeps alone. He is, in a pharmacological sense that requires no poetry to explain, genuinely happier beside you. But the deepest layer of this, the one that contextualizes everything else, is what happens inside your cat's brain specifically during sleep. He did not just miss you. His brain had built you into itself. Your absence is not the removal of a preference, it is a structural loss. And you, whether you have ever consciously registered it, respond in kind. The specific weight of him across your feet, the exact temperature of him pressed against your side, the sound of his breathing in the dark, which your sleeping brain has catalogued and filed as the sound of safety. The first night he is not there, you notice, not in a way you would necessarily name out loud, just a difference, a texture missing from the room. You wake once more than usual. You reach toward a warmth that your hand remembers before your mind does. That is not sentiment. That is two nervous systems that have spent enough nights in proximity that they have begun to expect each other, to be calibrated to each other, to be, in a way that is real and physical and documented, incomplete in the other's absence. Now hold all 6 together and look at what they form. He placed you inside the innermost sanctuary of his psychological world, the place he defends with everything he has, the place he is only willing to be unconscious in. He synchronized his heartbeat to yours, a synchronization that only happens with a chosen person and that makes him measurably healthier. He learned your nightly patterns with a precision that exceeds your own self-knowledge and uses them to find his way to you every night without fail. He chose a sleeping position, head feet, or full contact that communicates with behavioral specificity exactly how he understands his role in relation to you. He kept silent watch over you through 7 to 9 security cycles a night, reading your body, adjusting his vigilance to your state, extending a paw in the dark when you needed contact you didn't know you needed. And he built you, chemically and neurologically and permanently, into the architecture of who he is. All of this, every night, without asking to be understood, without needing acknowledgement, without any requirement that you know what he is doing in order for him to keep doing it, faithfully, for as long as you will let him. There are human relationships that never reach this quality of presence. There are people who share beds for decades and never build this depth of attunement with each other. And here is this animal, independently wired, evolutionarily self-sufficient, perfectly capable of sleeping alone and being physiologically fine, who looked at you, ran whatever ancient assessment his species developed for exactly this decision, and chose you, specifically, repeatedly, without ambivalence. So tonight, when he jumps up, when he does the circle, because he almost always does the circle, and settles, when he tucks himself against your feet, or presses along your side, or curls near your face with that expression of absolute, unearned, completely unself-conscious peace. Remember what you are actually looking at. Not a cat who ended up in your bed by accident or convenience or the absence of a better option. A cat who assessed every option available to him and chose this one, who has been protecting you in the dark while you slept without knowing it, whose heart has learned the rhythm of yours and adjusted itself accordingly, whose brain, in the deep and serious work of sleep, has been strengthening the pathways that mean you, reinforcing every single night that you are necessary, that you are the person, that you are, in the only language his biology has for the concept, home. You cannot explain to him that you finally understand this. He would not need you to. He has never needed you to understand it in order for it to be true. What you can do is reach over tonight, before you close your eyes, and put your hand on him for a moment. Not to reassure him, he is not uncertain. He made his choice a long time ago, and he has never second-guessed it. Do it, because now you know what he has been doing for you in the dark, all this time. And some things are worth acknowledging, even when the other party will never know you finally got it. He chose you. Every night, he chooses you again. That's everything. If this changed the way you see your cat tonight, give it a like, subscribe to Cat Class, and share it with someone in your life who sleeps with their male cat and deserves to know what that actually means. Drop a comment and tell me where your cat sleeps and what you think it means now that you know what you know. Your story might be featured in the next episode of Cat Class.